Glenn, thanks for joining us. What do you make of this?
Well, here's what I make of it, Dan. One, Bill Belichick was adamant yesterday, and as you know, that's not necessarily his style. Sometimes he'll downplay stuff, low-key it, because he doesn't want to talk about it. He wanted to talk about it. There was no question. The other thing I can tell you from sources within the Patriots organization is they know they screwed up internally, but it was not the football operations department. So as you know, these football teams now, they've become marketing giants, and they've got their own content departments, production departments. And so it was something outside of the football operation. But I've talked to somebody who has actually knowledge of what is on that SD card. And the way it was described to me, it is longer than 8 minutes on the sideline. I don't know the exact time limit on it. But what they did is they sat down with the scout before the game. They asked him exactly what he does. They're doing a whole series of these. They did one on their trainer, Jim Whalen, earlier in the year, and they're doing it for their production company. So they sit down with the scout. They say, what are you looking for? Well, I'm looking for personnel changes and when they're going to change personnel. So they got a bunch of information from him as to what his job is, and then they set a fixed camera on a tripod, set it up, and tried to go and get B-roll for each one of those things that he claimed he watches for. So I'm sure the league is going to see that tape, and they're going to see a lot of the sideline because that's what a scout does. The question is, was it done for football purposes, or was it done for production, TV production for the team's, digital wing of the organization? The NFL is going to have to determine that.
But can you plead ignorance? Can that be your defense here, and then the commissioner might show some leniency?
I don't think it's ignorance. Matter of fact, I'm hearing just the opposite from people within the Patriots organization. Now, the football operation is denying everything, as Belichick did yesterday on my show. They're denying it 100%. They knew nothing about it. I'm hearing from other people that they went out of their way to set up their crew in Cincinnati, for this game in Cleveland. They worked with Cleveland to do it. They're pleading that they should have had much closer wraps on it. They shouldn't have allowed it to just happen. They should have gone through, what is the protocol? Are we going to get ourselves into trouble? And let's face it, Dan, there's a reputation with the organization. They need to be able to think about that, right?
Are you sure?
Reputation.
Are you sure?
Yeah, a little bit.
But you know Bill Belichick pretty well. The fact that he showed this, I don't know if that's anger, like how upset he was. Like, how much do you read into that, knowing what his personality is?
A lot. I was thoroughly convinced, and it was the first question I was going to ask him when he walked into the studio. I can tell a lot of times from him now, knowing him for, over 20 years, dealing with him, if he wants to talk about something or not. I was thoroughly convinced that Bill knows nothing about it. Now, I also was convinced that Bill knows this is not a good thing for the organization. He knows the way it's going to be perceived nationally, the way it's going to be played up. I mean, first of all, if you're going to self-scout and you're going to cheat, would you do it against the Cincinnati Bengals? Why wouldn't you do it against Kansas City here last week or Baltimore a few weeks ago, Dan? Second of all, if you're going to do it, why would you do it with somebody that's wearing Patriot paraphernalia? And one of the cameramen apparently was wearing Boston Bruins paraphernalia. You sneak somebody in the stands, you get a fixed camera, you got 4K stuff in your iPhones now, and you can grab all the information you need. It makes no sense.
Maybe they just got caught this time around, Glenn.
Well, it's possible. It's possible. Anything is possible. I just think that this is one of those that's going to look really bad. So if you think that the Patriots have been cheaters in the past, this just gives you more ammunition. And obviously, to me, it doesn't seem like they did anything wrong. Is it possible? I will say this. If the NFL sits down, watches that video on the SD card, and sees 3 hours of a fixed camera on the sideline, then they're probably going to throw a heavy fine or draft picks or something with the New England Patriots. If the NFL can't tell the difference between footage that is used to apply to the game versus the B-roll that is used for a television production, then something's wrong. I got to believe they're going to be able to figure it out.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV, stream for free on BR Live, or download the Dan Patrick Show app.